No-nonsense off-roaders have been a staple of Suzuki for over 50 years. The latest to enjoy this lineage is the Suzuki S-Cross. It's entering a fiercely competitive minefield, and so Suzuki has equipped every S-Cross with a 1.4 litre turbocharged petrol engine with 48 volt mild hybrid assistance. This gives it a little extra power and a little more efficiency. This doesn't power the car on electricity alone as a plug-in or a full hybrid does, but the system does look after itself, so you never have to plug in or charge it. Where the Suzuki sits in the market is right next to Ford's Puma, Seat's Arona and Skoda's Kamiq. It's cheaper than Nissan's Qashqai and it gets a lot more equipment as standard too. As such, the S-Cross seems to offer good value for money. Suzuki make cars that are simple and effective. They've got all the necessities and they've also got comfortable and unpretentious drive. The S-Cross covers the basics and combines drivability with good economy and a low purchase price. Those who are looking for a functional and dependable transport with all the safety features you'd expect from a modern car, the S-Cross covers all those bases. On the outside, the new S-Cross looks dramatically different from before. Inside there's a more modern infotainment system and a little bit of rubberized material on the dashboard. Overall though, the interior is as recognisable from the 2013 model as it is now. Suzuki didn't have much in the way of competition before, but Dacia has upped their game to challenge the more established Suzuki. The seats are decent enough so as not to miss the lack of lumbar support, and you sit high, giving good visibility with a driving position that will be comfortable for most people. And there's plenty of adjustment on the steering column and the seat to help there too. The new S-Cross has a completely new infotainment system that is simply laid out. The built-in functions are logical and the navigation is better than on some much more expensive cars with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. Without the option of a wireless charger, you'll need to plug in your mobile to keep it charged on longer journeys. To do this, you get one USB-A port and one 12-volt port. The adaptive cruise control works well and the safety systems are easily turned off using physical buttons. Although there is speed limit recognition, it's not linked to cruise control. In the back, there's no extra air vents and there's no USB ports, which is quite a major omission in a family car for 2022. The boot is adequate, smaller than a Qashqai's, and other than a movable boot floor and a 12-volt power port, it has no special features. With an enviable curb weight of 1.3 tonnes and 127 brake horsepower, it gets from 0 to 100 km per hour in 10.2 seconds. Mild hybrid assistance lends some useful muscle in low ranges. Up to 4th gear, the S-Cross is quicker in gear than the Qashqai, which is considerably more power at 156 brake horsepower. Even tall people will have enough room in the front seats of the S-Cross. There's loads of head and leg room, and even with the standard panoramic sunroof, it only lowers the ceiling slightly. The front doors have pockets that will accept a litre bottle of water and a few small items. Between the driver and the front passenger, there are 2 cup holders and a large cubby hole with a flip-up armrest. Just in front of the gear lever is another large cubby, and this is ideal for storing wallets, keys, mobile phones and other items. There's a decent amount of storage space in the S-Cross's glove box too. The front seats are set quite high, so getting in and out should present few problems thanks to wide, tall door apertures. Back seats in the S-Cross are set higher than the front seats, so headroom is rather limited. It's no problem for 2 adults to sit comfortably. 3 passengers side by side will find it a little bit of a squeeze, and the S-Cross has a pronounced floor hump for the middle passenger to straddle. Each rear door has space for a large water bottle. You've also got space to store things in the handy map pocket that's on the back of the front passenger seat. When you don't have a middle seat passenger, an armrest with 2 cup holders can be folded down out of the middle seat. Rear seat backs split in a 60-40 configuration and you can fold them down by pushing buttons next to the head restraints. This can be done quite easily with one hand because the seat backs aren't particularly heavy or stiff. You can recline the rear seats slightly for a more laid-back seating position. This is a handy feature that's only seen in a handful of other family cars, including the Kia Sportage. Boot space is generous, it beats the Skoda Kamiq, but it's no match for the vast chasms offered by the Dacia Duster and Ford's Puma. Even so, with 430 litres at your disposal, it's more than enough to swallow a large shopping session, and the wide boot opening makes loading items a doddle. To make loading large items easier, the adjustable boot floor can be raised so that it lines up with the boot lip, and when the backs of the rear seats are folded down, this makes an entirely flat area. The boot is square in shape, it's got a deep cubby hole on either side, and there's also a removable luggage cover to keep valuables out of sight and various hooks for tying things down or for luggage nets. Light steering makes easy work of low-speed manoeuvres, and it feels very stable on a motorway. What it lacks is a little bit of feeling of being involved in the process of driving, and there's a little sense of connection through the steering. It begins to lose front-end grip and gradually wash wide in corners at lower speeds than the Ateca and other rivals. One of the S-Cross's distinguishing features is the all-grip four-wheel drive. Suzuki is very proud of the fact that it's offering four-wheel drive with both manual and automatic gearboxes. The soft suspension brings with it some body roll for a modern car, but that means it's unperturbed by bumpy roads. Ultimately, it's reasonably well damped and doesn't get floaty, so it's no real cause for complaint. If you live in an area where snow and inclement weather is a real possibility in the winter and plan on using the S-Cross for light off-roading, then the all-wheel drive system offered can handle most simple tasks. There is a button on the centre console to switch between sport and automatic, 4x4 modes, or lock it into four-wheel drive, but the difference between auto and sport is minimal. The mild hybrid system helps to reduce vibration and noise. As you pull away in an S-Cross, you'll hear a little bit of a rasp from the 1.4 litre turbocharged engine, but that quickly fades into the background as you get up to speed and remains quiet and settled. It's a different story if you rev it hard though, it gets very boomy and coarse. While the S-Cross lives up to its maker's name, it does carry the burden of helping the brand to secure a bigger slice of that family SUV pie, and now more than ever, it's a time when it's never been more closely fought.